I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, my real name, and I have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey married Childers. I was kidnapped, and I've been putting up YouTube about that and about mind control murders done in patterns. Larry Flint was one of them that was a program shooter, shot him. Governor George Wallace of Alabama, when he was in Laurel, Maryland, running for president, that shot him. And the woman where I was taken, Lina Dempsey, was up there when he was shot. He did not like her. She volunteered and placed herself there. But anyway, it's me being kidnapped and taken there, and then she shows up also when I don't know when he died, but she was doing um, companion aid type while getting Social Security, etc., disability. And Senator Sparkman was U.S. Senator, and she's doing the companion aid back then. This was, I think, after 83, I know it was. He died, she was there. And he was the one that helped funnel, and he knew all about her, who she was, me, funnel money, etc. However, if it was money across the table or other amenities to the United States from the UK to keep me alive. But the point that I'm making is these are not coincidences. So now I wanted to get back to this the patterns that the murders were done in. I'm going to turn it around here. Um, and there's a lot that have been done and committed using mind control as a weapon that you'll never know. But anyway, they've done it where I lived, in Compass, and the things that happened with my children's name, etc., etc. And Scott's one of them. Just like the Congressman Gabby Gifford, she married Mark Kelly, a twin to Scott Kelly, astronauts, and you go back to NASA where they took me to Moulton when I was kidnapped in 41H2. And your NASA there was built by scientists that came over, Warner von Braun, money and to keep me alive, and treaties and etc. Uh, anyway, I'll go back and give you just a part. And this is number 3 video I'm putting up as a record. It's hard. I wish I had shorthand or a dictaphone. My phone's gonna go out on this video again, and I won't be able to make any till next month, I guess, whatever that is. Okay. Sherry and Katrina and Pam out at Scott Hill in Clifton's retirement, an older building, but the one side's not bad. But I was there. I didn't realize the dates when Sherry called me, June the 15th on a Friday, and stated that her boss, there were new bosses out there, and she was new. I didn't know her, although she used to work at the store next to the post office in Trouttville, where I used to go up and down the Appalachian Trail, the trail there, and starve and freeze. She knew all about me. She knows who I am. I was kidnapped, all of it. They all do around here. They're told not to help me, and they didn't. There was a few. Anyway, back to this. She's out here now, and that was years ago. And she's called me to come out there, and they had an apartment. I went out there, and lo and behold, the same crap was going on. So I'm going to leave, and it encompasses a lease with HUD. And it can ruin you. And can you imagine me trying to get into court with this and get an attorney? I can't even get an attorney to even get a policy given back to me. It was stolen, and would give me money. And so I've been deliberately kept penniless and run from place to place using chemicals because I'm allergic to them. Autoimmune disorder, and it really can cripple you when you're made to breathe it. Anyway, Sherry calls me, and it's on a Friday, the 15th of June this past month. It's 3 years ago exactly when I was out there before, in July the 15th of 2015. Out there twice. Mold mildew, took a picture. They're doing the same crap with the antiquated air conditioner. They had the black mold in it. They had cats die and animals there. Some people, when I was out there this time, remembered about it, the animals dying. But anyway, I turned the photos over. I can't get an attorney, so I turned them over to the media, to social media. Nobody, the media is not going to touch it. And I believe it was Mower Management, I found out later, right after then, they went out and replaced most of the air conditioning units with new ones or digital. So here I am, she calls me, and it's over the weekend, and I have to get some reference, etc., where I paid my rent on time. And where I'm living, I'd been living here since a little bit over a year ago now, and they faxed it back and forth for me free. And anyway, Monday came, the 18th, and Sherry came and picked me up, and I decided that something was wrong with it. The sudden push to get me in 4 days over the weekend is not the way you do it. And I was ready to tell her no, but she's very convincing, and quite frankly, I need something. This is where I've been, and the people here I like, but it's too expensive for me. I have no money left for anything else, and I need something like HUD. So I've put up 2 videos as a record. Okay, because they could take me, and if I didn't have an attorney and no one cared to know the truth, and law enforcement didn't come in and stop this, they could make me get what money I have, and I would have nothing for months and months to even live on. And I can't walk hardly, so I can't go up the Appalachian Trail anymore and live up there and freeze and starve and almost die. Okay, they were told not to help me. Now I've put up the 2 videos, and I'm wanted to put this one up. Sherry kept calling me prior to my leaving for the second time, 2018. Okay, on July the at least 2 times, I can't read my own writing, to July. Okay, I went out there in June the 18th, paid the rent, ended up having to come back, and I've put all that up here, which is illegal. If you put this in court, it's against HUD and everything, their own regulations. And but anyway, getting it into court, they could take my money, and then I would be without. It's just anyway. Sherry and Pam are names of people that. Sherry was a friend of mine years ago, and you have to get into her part in all this. I thought she was a friend. Pam is a person that lives here, and they're taking the name Pam and Sherry, and they're real names, but they're encompassing it in the patterns I talk about. So I'm being used again, and it's horrifying, and I don't even know if any good will ever. I've put it up on YouTube and Facebook, but hey, Scott Peterson's on death row, and that's what this and the Wayne Williams, the carpet is being used as in Wayne Williams in 1980 when Mary Welcome, that was murders that happened in Atlanta I was telling about when they almost killed me, April Fool Day of 80. Now I want to put the last days when I left out there. Recently, I came back here where I've been August the 1st this year, a few weeks ago. Before I left, it was odd because Sherry kept calling me and saying, almost like she knew I was leaving, saying, well, if we have a digital air conditioning, but this time I'm having trouble with the air conditioning, which I didn't have any problem the first night I went in. This was all created, and then the carpet that should have been put in, prior to moving in, according to HUD, wasn't put in, and the man was suddenly gotten out of there, the apartment I got, 506, and I put that up here where I got, it was from Kroger, it was a sale paper, so I cut out, I didn't think you could send a sale paper to him. I think they suddenly went in just prior to bringing me back out there, and put him in some kind of assisted living. And his name was Connor, Conner, which is the name of the unborn baby of Scott Peterson and his mom Lacey, that Scott's on death row, and that gets into the use of the Amber Fry. And Amber was the name of the Amber Alert, and it's who's, and they were mind controlled. A lot of those kids that were kidnapped, and thus the Amber Alert. Anyway, you get the gist of it. So I'm going to go back, and she's calling me the second time I'm out there, and I've paid the rent again. And she called me, though, first before went out the second time, told me I couldn't break the lease. I said, yes, I can, when it entails your health. Well, the thing in this, if you have an autoimmune disorder like I have in toxic fumes, you have to get away from it. It's like switching on the light. You're inhaling the stuff, and the only way to solve it is you switch off the light, so to speak. You get away from it. And if where you're living does not do that, dispose of it, then you leave. And that's what I did. They had no intention. They played this out. They were told to. It's violation of any rights I have. Anyway, she kept calling me. Sherry did. She was coordinator, and she knew about me. I said that she worked at a store years ago when I lived on the Appalachian Trail at Troutville. It's about 15 miles from Roanoke. And well, I lived there a long time, so they certainly knew about me. She worked in one of the stores. So now then, she's calling me because I'm going to leave. I'm sick, and there's being fumes pumped in there, and they're using the air conditioning again. And I've put up the other things that happened. The elevators were going out. Every day, one of them was stopped. And then the other one would be stopped where you'd trip over it. It wasn't even, and one woman did trip and hurt her shoulder. But then the water was cut off at least twice while I was out there, from 9 o'clock till about 1, and then the other time it was till from 7 o'clock, I believe, in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. So this is just some of the things that happened. Now, just prior to my leaving August the 1st, a few weeks ago, Sherry kept calling me saying, well, they've got one digital, the new ones that they got after I left there the first time with the photos, and so they were furnished with the digital and new air conditioners. So here I am back out there, finally get this apartment, and all this has happened. And she's calling saying they have one digital left, so she's going to have maintenance put it in. Well, this went on for 1, 2, 3, and it's getting August 1st, and I'm not going to pay them again because I know that I can't stay. I'm so sick. I was having vertigo, as I've mentioned, and everything else. I'm losing my hearing, too, from this mess, from bacterial and stuff. Anyway, my health is getting bad. Okay, I want to put this in. Sherry had been in my apartment the day before I left. The lady next door to me mentioned it to me, and I knew somebody had been in because I'd covered up the air conditioning because the fumes were coming out and I didn't even have it on. This has happened in the past with all this. This is how they run me. And I quote a Virginia State Trooper saying that because I've told it and people don't care. They'll say they don't believe it. How convenient, man. And I can't get an attorney. So this lady next door to me, who I liked, she told me that Sherry had been in there, and that's you're not supposed to without me letting you in. So the pillowcase I'd put over the air conditioning had been moved, so I could see that plane that somebody had been in across the room. Okay, the air conditioning, the lady standing there, this same lady, and another lady was going by and talking. She said, "Well, your air conditioning's on." I said, "No, it's not." And it wasn't. It's another motor behind it that was running, but it didn't put out air conditioning, but you could blatantly hear it. It's just like, well, I've just told you. It's putting out the fumes, and you can hear it. But anyway, that night, something happened. I'm not going to put up what happened. I will if I ever need to. I knew I had to leave. I have tried to live through all this, and it's been hell. But I'm not going to hopefully lay down and die for them. So I left. I know when enough's way past enough and what had happened that night. So the next morning, I got this woman down the hall from me, and I have to pay $35, which is a lot to me, to get back to Roanoke. It's about a 45-minute drive. And the lady I finally got, I trusted her. I liked her. I didn't know her that well, but she said, well, she would bring me back up here. She said, but first, let's go down. They're having donuts and coffee in the dining room. I did, and when we got coming back up to bring me to get my stuff and put in her car, the two maintenance men suddenly got on the elevator, which is unusual, it hadn't happened before, and they started telling me like they were angry with me suddenly. They said, we came in and what did they say? Something about they cleaned the air conditioning in my room, and they took it out and cleaned behind it and all this. And I said, and they're angry at me. They're on the elevator, and I said, when did you do this, and what did you clean it with? I said, because Sherry has been calling me, and she did for about 5 days, and they should coordinate. They do. This was made. They do what they're told to, maintenance and all of them. That's why this whole thing's been allowed to happen. They should be locked up. But anyway, they said, well, we came in and cleaned it. And the woman with me said, well, it's probably while you were gone. I said, then why is Sherry calling me? By that time, she'd called me about 5 days, promising to put the digital in. And I said, why is she calling me then? Why don't you all get together? Well, they were just mad at me and didn't say anything. Got off the elevator and got my stuff and was going down out the back way of the apartments, and my stuff, suitcases and what little I have, but it's a lot for me. I can't hardly walk or pick things up. As we went out the back, the maintenance guys and the cook and a couple other guys are there, and it's like they're just staring, they're angry at me. And she said something about, you'd think she was a nice person. She says, why don't you mean come over here and help? Well, they did help. One of them did, just one came over. And I thought, why are you people mad at me? So this is a hate crime that's going on. I'm British, and my mom was an American, and they kidnapped me and did things to me. And it's horrible. They hate me because I'm British, and they've even laughed about it over the years when I found out about my kidnapping in '83. So the lady brought me over here, and my phone went missing. And I put this up. When I found out it was missing, she had just left me here. I thought she was a nice lady. I paid her,